AOA podcast back for a Monday episode. Frankie C is in the house.
What is happening?
This is what's happening. Trump in court.
Yep, that is what's happening.
Dude's like losing it.
Well, he's lost it a while ago.
Judge is getting on him. It's a whole thing. Kendall Jenner's Risqué holiday ad.
Did you have to look up the word risque?
I sure did.
Okay, just checking.
Just so you know, I didn't spell it correct the first 3 tries.
I assume so.
A $20 billion sunken treasure.
$20 billion?
20 billion.
Mr. Bigglesworth.
I got hit on today, I think.
That means no.
We got an AOA Flicks Picks, vacation plans, which we might not talk about, and a blind top 5, which I am very excited about, my friends.
That's a podcast.
This is total election interference, let me tell you. Let me explain it.
This guy's got to relax and just go to jail, and then that'd be the end of it.
I want $1 million. Okay, it's a tremendous amount.
They said my property is worth only $12. I say it's worth $12 billion. So we got to meet in the middle. It's ridiculous.
Donald Trump started his testimony today rather quiet and pretty calm. And then Supreme Court Justice Arthur Engoron, who I don't love, the judge. Here's a weird thing that I don't know what's happening in this court, but they, for whatever reason, decide to turn the cameras on. I guess they give the media a little time. You don't get to actually see the action. They just like turn the camera on, and they always like put it on Trump, and there he is. He's like, yeah, he's making like that.
Yeah,
the face.
He's like a melted pumpkin.
And then they swing it around to the judge, and the judge is always like, and he like takes off his glasses and he like smiles. You know, when you have like,
he's not going to have to pay millions of dollars.
But I'm just saying, when you have an adult man who still has the smile you're having your picture taken mentality of a 4-year-old, you know, he's like, oh, let me take off my glasses and give you the perfect smile. Like, nobody wants you to smile. Be stoic.
No, I like that he smiles.
You're just loving this. I hate it. I don't like that the guy smiles. I wish he would be a little bit more of like a hard ass about the whole thing. But anyway, that's just me. That's just
yeah. I see what you mean. He's got to be a little more, I guess, focused. I don't know. But
yeah, be a justice. Be a justice.
He's not a Supreme Court justice.
He's a Manhattan Supreme Court justice.
Oh, Manhattan. Yeah.
Yeah. Technicality. There's.
Yeah,
that's my cousin. He's a Supreme Court justice. Really?
Yeah. We all have a Supreme Court in Manhattan.
Of the United States? No, of Manhattan.
No. Of Albuquerque. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's like saying you won an Emmy and you go, oh, for what? And you're like, a daytime program. And you're like, oh, so you won a daytime Emmy?
No. Yeah, and it was local Emmy. Oh.
Local Emmy?
Shit.
Anyway, in court today, President Trump called Attorney General Letitia James a political hack. She was sitting right there in the front row. He then went after the judge, pointing at him, proclaiming everybody's watching this case. He called me a fraud and he didn't know anything about me, pointing to the judge as he said it. The fraud is on the court and not on me, he said, before adding that James, the fraud is on her. He's just like, you're a fraud. The court's
Everybody here's
a fraud.
I'm the only one that's legit. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's all fraudulent.
Everybody else is wrong. He's right.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
He continued, when you rule Mar-a-Lago is worth $18 million and she rules it's worth $25 million, either people are very stupid or there's fraud. The fraud is on behalf of the court. This is all around 10 a.m. this morning. By the way, did they I think Mar-a-Lago is worth more than $25 million. That seems a little crazy. There's like single family homes over there that are worth like,
I don't know, but it's not worth what he said. He was like, it may be close to hundreds of millions of dollars. It's like, no, you're an idiot. It's not worth that much. he inflated it for tax purposes and then decreases the value when he wants a loan or whatever.
Mm. Anyway, Trump continued loudly and then started to ramble. He said, I'm a fraud because I didn't value my property correctly. He's the only one who didn't rule my property correctly. Trump also insisted that he has done a great job as president. Finally, Kevin Wallace, a lawyer for the Attorney General's office, asked, "Are you done?"
I love it. That's a great response. When he goes off on his rants, just as a great, it's not about you as a president. This is about you being a fraud with your property. And then it's like, are you done? That's great. We're not putting up with your bullshit. It's fucking great.
And then he goes, I'm done. Then things got a little nasty. Engoron said he'd kick the former commander-in-chief out of the witness stand if he didn't stop giving speeches to Wallace's simple yes or no questions. So the Attorney General lawyer, Wallace, is up there is asking him like a yes or no question, and Trump is just going off on a massive tirade. Which
How much is your property worth? We won the election by a landslide. Everybody will tell you that. It's like, all right, I can't with this guy anymore. I think because if he just goes off on tangents, no one's going to hear it would help if it were a jury case, I guess, because all the information would get lost in his bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's just on the judge, so.
Well, because I think right, exactly. The judge is the only one who gets to rule on it. And I think he knows he's lost and he's going to have to pay this money. So it's like, I might as well get my money's worth on making this a full-on campaign ad on a daily basis, because it's all free media. I mean, we haven't really talked about Trump in a while, and now he has this whole explosion today, and here it is leading off the podcast. So it's working, and you can't not talk about it. When the former president of the United States, I don't care how much you love him or hate him, is going toe to toe with a Supreme Court justice in Manhattan, it's you can look at every newscast. It's top story on everything everywhere.
Of course it is. But it's just sad that the Republican frontrunner could be. I don't understand what happens if he's in prison after whatever, January 6th. He's still got some court cases to go through here. If he's in prison and he wins, I mean, what the fuck? What is he going to run it for? Does he get out? Does he run it from jail? His Secret Service agents get the cell next to his, or what happens?
I think he immediately pardons himself before anybody knows what to do about it.
Can you pardon yourself? Is that a thing?
I don't really know. I mean, if he wins while in prison, it will be the biggest test of the Constitution of the United States of America.
I can't, because I feel like the only way he's gonna go to prison would be the whole January 6th thing, right? Am I right with that? I mean, there are other cases.
That's the big one, yeah.
That's the big one. So if he goes to prison for that, then he's considered guilty of insurrection. Then in that case, the 14th Amendment comes into play, saying anybody guilty, of an insurrection cannot hold public office, government office. So
correct.
So that would kibosh that whole thing. But
I mean,
got 3 other cases to go through.
Technically, I think the way that that's spelled out, it's that you're convicted, right? So if he's
documents case, that's right.
If he's on the ballot before he's convicted, you can't take him off the ballot. You know what I mean? So that's where I think we enter a little bit of a quandary, because it's like you can stop him from getting onto the ballot, but let's say he gets convicted after. What do you do then? If people are voting for him, what do you do?
Well, he shouldn't.
I think that's where it then becomes, which is interesting because he tried to change out the electors. I think that's where the Electoral College has to step in and figure something out, because.
Well, it should be on it's not going to, but the Republicans should step up and say, we can't put this fucking guy as our front runner.
Well, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, but that's not going to happen because they have no spine. So
more on that in a second, though. Anyway, let's see. Engoron said, we got another speech. And then he looked at Trump's lawyers, and the judge said, I beseech you to control him if you can. If you can't, I will, is what he said. It's a pretty ballsy thing to say.
Fucking love it.
Yeah. I will excuse him and use every negative inference that I can. Trump lawyer Elena Haba, probably saying that wrong, stood up and interrupted Wallace's questioning of our client at one point, telling Engoron his job was to listen to what Trump had to say. Engoron shouted, "I am not here to listen to what he has to say," before slamming the table and telling Haba to sit down. Trump inserted, "This is a very unfair trial, very, very, and I hope the public is watching." It was at this point when tensions were at their highest where they decided to take a short 15-minute recess.
Yeah, this isn't an open forum. It's a court. You can't just get up there and talk about whatever you want. You have to answer the questions and get back to your seat. You can't just get up there. It's not a filibuster where you could just get up there and just talk about whatever you want for as long as you want. That's not how that works. And since he's been stopped, like he's not able to do that, he sees that as unfair. It's like, no, you're in a court now. You're a defendant. You're supposed to be defending yourself, and that's it. You're not up there to give a speech. You're not up there to talk to your voters. You're up there to defend yourself, and that's it.
During the break, Trump went outside and told reporters in the courtroom, outside the courtroom, that this was election interference and political warfare. Then Haba went outside the courtroom and she said, "I was told to sit down today. I was yelled at, and I've had a judge who is unhinged slamming a table. Let me be very clear. I don't tolerate that in my life. I'm not going to tolerate it here." Little ballsy retort from Miss Haba.
So what is she doing about it?
She's fiery. I don't know whatever happened with that, but she said
I guess she tolerated it.
Made a bold statement.
Okay.
Haba continued, "This court is falling apart, and if we don't stop corruption in courtroom," I mean, they're just going with that. What else are they going to do? That's their
whenever he loses, everything's rigged against him. It can't just be that he's a piece of shit. That's not the answer. It's never his fault. So everything else is rigged against him. So whatever it is, the court's fixed, the voting's fixed, everything's fixed.
Meanwhile, in the most recent polls, and we're talking about a New York Times poll, Trump is leading Biden in every single battleground state of importance.
Ugh.
Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Georgia. So much so that, who's the guy? David Axelrod, who was Obama's guy, right? Remember? Like I think he was the chief of staff. I remember he was the political strategist that got Obama elected, David Axelrod. David Axelrod came out and said, maybe it's time for Biden to step aside and let somebody else take a crack at this. I got a problem with that.
I would I'd love another Democrat to step up to the plate. That'd be great. Not a problem.
Yeah.
If Biden can do it, great. But people say, "Oh, he's too old," whatever. But if that's who we got to put up there, that's what we got to put up. But I would love it if a Buttigieg or any of the other. I mean, I'm sure Sanders is too old. I don't know. People are going to say the same thing about Sanders. I don't know. But
he can't do it. I don't know who could. I don't have a lot of faith in Buttigieg. Not that I don't think he's a nice guy. I just think
he's a fair guy.
It's not even that. I just don't think he has. I don't buy into him. And this is not just a Democrat thing, but Republicans do this too. You get a good-looking person, somebody who looks good in a suit, who could talk the talk, and then they just like prop this person up there, and then it's like, but what's your experience? Like, he was a mayor in India, some small hick town in Indiana or something. Like, I don't think you have the experience to run the fucking country.
Oh, but Trump had the experience.
No, I'm not saying that.
Right, then. So I think the bar has been significantly lowered there, pal. So let's get real here.
Way to slam that one back in my face.
Yeah. He shoots, he scores.
No, but like I like, call me crazy. I like a governor. I like a senator.
Now we all like governor. We like politicians. Career.
Not necessarily.
To the outsider, the guy who's going to change it up and mix it around. We don't want a politician. We want the everyday guy.
Guy's going to
now
change
all of a sudden. What?
No, you're right about that. I like an outsider, but I like an outsider who kind of knows what they're doing.
Well, at least this guy had a government job before, and he ran a city, and now he's
but in Indiana, but
now he's the what's it called? Secretary of
Yeah, who gives a
Transportation.
shit?
That's still he's still in the mix. He's not he's not a fucking reality show host.
He's got a pulse. I'll give you that. He's not going to die in the next year or two. That's the one thing he's got going for him. He looks good in a tie. I'll admit that. He looks fine in a tie.
Okay.
I also like that he's gay too, because then it'll get everybody in the world going, they really are progressive over there in that country. They're really, they're not just talking shit. They just gay guy ran and they elected him. Good for them. I like that. Yeah, well, I want to like put my note and be like, suck on that, Germany. Let's see you elect a gay person.
I think he would be great, and I mean, AOC is too young. I think I don't know if she I don't know if she's 35 yet. I think you have to be 35 to run for.
I don't have a lot of faith in her. I think she's
passionate, man. She gets up there. She gives these.
You
gotta see her calling everybody out, and it's great. I love it.
I just think she's become. Listen, I like the waitress to leader storyline. I just think she's become the answer to who's the pedophile in Florida.
Oh, why is she the answer to that?
I just think she's the other side of the crazy. She's the leftist leaning. Like she was remember. So everybody's getting on. Who's the guy? Gates. Everybody's getting on Gates for causing this hysteria in the House with the speaker and all that. But if you remember, it was AOC who did that shit to Pelosi. Back when was that during Trump's era? I don't even remember now.
What shit to Pelosi? What are you talking about?
She would do that shit to Pelosi. Like she would give Pelosi a hard time. She had her little caucus that wouldn't vote with them. It wasn't as extreme as this. But she did to a degree. She actually did. She was the one. Her little caucus there. Remember, they would all like walk around wearing white. She was
a part of that. I feel like I've seen Pelosi with the white as well. Wearing the white stuff as well.
They forced her to wear the white.
Okay.
No, but they did. They fought. They were like, they let her do it. They let her get the last term, and they were like, as long as you agree that this is it, and you're out.
Where were you sitting in? You knew that? What are you talking about?
I was in the meeting.
You were in the meeting? All right.
I was in the back working on the air conditioning. Should be working for you after this. Should be good now. You ever get
that back there?
You ever get something fixed and you're like, yeah, you should be good now. And you're like, I don't have a lot. And I know I'm going to see you in 2 days. I just know it.
Call me if anything. No. Don't go anywhere. Call me if anything's not working. Wait. You just wait here.
Wait 5 minutes. As soon as you walk out the door, I know it's going to start leaking again. So please. Well, anyway, yeah, but that's kind of a bad thing that David Axelrod is like, hey, old timer, maybe it's time that you step aside, which is kind of crazy because, up until this, I mean, we're getting into it, Frank. Like, for instance, tomorrow's election day, November 7th is election day. So we are exactly a year away from electing a president. And there's just not an overall ton of confidence in either one of these parties' leading candidate. Now, I know Trump has got a lot of people rooting for him and he's got a lot of support. I just still don't believe that there is a lot of confidence in that. There are just a lot of people that are like, fuck it. If we're going to hell in a handbasket, we're going to go with our guy and not the other one.
I can't imagine how nothing matters with that anymore. Like, it's like the guy could be all the shit he's done and all the what's it called? Guilty of this, guilty of that, sexual assault. Now he's done 4 trials, 70 or however many dozens and dozens of what's it called against him? Counts of felony counts against him. But nope, that's our guy. We can't get. There's no other person of the millions of people in this country. There's no other person we can put up but this guy, this fucking guy. Why is it him?
I bet you, if you put it to the American people right now, that it's all or nothing, meaning we get 2 new candidates or we don't, I bet you everybody would vote for 2 new candidates.
Why wouldn't, like, if the Republicans had a brain or a spine, they would all come together and go, guys, we got to do better than Trump. What are we doing? The guy, all the shit he's caused during his term, and the shit he's doing after, no faith in our elections, no faith in our judges, no faith in anything. The FBI, the C, everything. He's badmouthed literally everything that America has, and we're gonna put him. He's also on trial, and could possibly be running from prison. Who the hell knows? But he's on trial for all these things. This is the guy. We can't all come together and pick someone else. I mean, what's the problem here?
I'm going to give my inauguration speech from the prison yard. I get an hour outside every day. That's where we'll do it. It'll be fantastic.
Because I'm sure as hell not going to work out. I'm going to talk to you about how this is all a fraud.
All right, listen, it's time to add two asses to this show. One would be Jay Sams. What up, Jay Sams?
He just called you an ass.
And the second is going to be Kendall Jenner's Risqué advertisement. I like saying that.
Nice.
Oh,
A little fancier than saying advertisement.
That was fancy.
A holiday. Do you know what Jackie? I don't even know how to say this. Anyway, this company hired Kendall Jenner to put her bare ass on Instagram with some Christmas lights, and that's exactly what she did. And it's called Jacquemus or Jacquemus, probably.
What are they selling?
I don't know. It says Girlandy, spelled Guirlande, with Kendall Jenner, the holiday collection out tomorrow, and there's Kendall Jenner's rear end.
Two questions. One,
Sure.
how do we know that's her ass? Two, I wouldn't plug those lights in. That ass looks kind of sweaty, and I wouldn't. You're not supposed to plug in lights that much water. With a sweaty ass.
That's true. It's a good point.
I guess whatever they're selling is that the fur thing that she's got up top, but I don't know.
I have no idea. I honestly don't know.
I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
Let me see. She wants to design it. Oh, I guess Jacquemus is a designer. So maybe this is her holiday collection.
maybe.
Jacquemus.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Jacques Moose.
All I know is
Moose.
242,000 people like Kendall Jenner's rear end.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm. You're right, though, Frank. A little water. It's a little ice, a little snow melting.
Right.
You know?
There it is. There's her butt. It's not even a hint of things anymore. It's just, there's her ass.
There's just ass crack. Yeah.
It's just, here's an ass. Buy what we're selling.
It's just right there.
If my grandfather saw this ad, he'd probably get hard.
Oh, there you go. It's like they're not even, this is just as good as like if someone put up an ass next to a can of Coke and said, buy Coke. It's like, what does that have to do with anything that we're talking about?
Nothing makes me want to drink a Coca-Cola more than a bare ass. So I'll tell you that.
That's
nothing.
True. That's a good point.
Yeah. Well, Frank, as you know, you've known me for years. I'm quite the competitive person. And I saw this earlier today and decided that we weren't going to be outshined on this podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, boy.
We, too, have an exciting
your ass.
holiday collection of podcast shows coming up. So I decided to do some posing myself and take on Kendall Jenner.
What am I looking at?
That definitely is your ass.
Come on. Pal Ant's moon right there. Subscribe now, folks.
Dude.
I'll tell you what, if for those who become members in the next 20 minutes, we'll widen that shot out a little bit.
I can't unsee this.
We'll give you the whole thing for you.
Well, you guys are really lucky, huh?
As long as you don't see any craters on that moon. God.
That's a good looking ass. Come on. Don't make me feel bad about what I've done.
2 words.
Or a Yeti.
Razor blade. All right. This looks, you know what this looks like? This looks like if you flipped Kylie Jenner's picture there, or Kendall Jenner, whatever one it is, if you flipped it upside down. Because you got the furry part on top on Kylie. On the Jenner one.
Yeah.
God. Can you? All right, you can take it down anytime.
Oh,
you're ready to
I thought it
remove
was. I thought everybody was enjoying themselves.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to leave hers up, or you want me to take the whole thing down altogether?
Do whatever you're gonna do. Just
I'll take the one
get
that's annoying you down. So this way we can. There we go.
Perfect. Thank you.
Is that good?
It's great.
All right. I think it's. I'm very proud of my work. I don't know. That's body shaming, is what you're doing.
I gotta paint this.
He is, right?
No, I'm you shaming.
I'm hand shaming. You know how hard it is to get your to light an asshole, like just to make sure that the light is shining in the proper spots.
Oh, I know. I mean, what?
How many not used shots were there?
A lot. The first one I realized, well, it was after the morning dump, and my wife was like, "You haven't wiped well enough. Go back in." We had to do it over again. Yeah.
I don't know how she gets in bed with you. God.
With some chloroform.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Let me tell you something. I have sacrificed a lot for this show. Everybody knows that's not my real ass, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how that was a scary? It took me over.
Was it not?
No, that's not my real. What do you think I would show my ass? I mean,
I don't know. I didn't get I couldn't do a side by side. I couldn't pick your ass out of a lineup.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's your
my
real ass or
brother's a different story, right?
Your brother I could spot
a
mile away.
That believe it or not, that guy's ass is hairier than mine. But it was
no way.
Yes way. It was because because I did have a moment of insecurity where I did take a peek in the mirror of my own rear end and go, wait, let me just make sure it's not.
Not
it
as
was
hairy as Nick's.
It was really hard to find that. Do you know how much searching I have to take my iPad in to get refurbished because we lost it to virus.
Hairy ass.
Yeah.
Hairy man ass.
Well, I originally went to the AI generator and I was like, because it does like everything, those things. Now you just type in whatever you want. And it's just like the image for this episode for the treasure, like I just put treasure underwater and it just made a picture out of nothing. It would not properly execute a naked man's ass. So
I'd score 1 for AI.
So I had to go on the search and then I had to find one that was like relatively the same pose and everything.
You didn't have to do any of that. No one asked you to do that.
Well, I thought it was a funny bit for a little bit at least.
Yeah,
maybe not. I don't know.
Gagged a little.
But I'll tell you this: there's a lot of dudes on the internet that want to spread their asshole for the camera, and I'm very.
I know this for a fact. Go
That's
ahead.
very surprising. That's very, very surprising. The amount of people that are just like spreading their ass. Like, are you getting it? Like,
hey, here you go, internet. Enjoy. You happy, internet?
Okay. So every so often, my friend will send me. He's on Grindr, and he will send me. Some guys have their asshole pictures in like, you know how like people have a few pictures of themselves, like,
they have it at the ready.
Yeah. Some of them have their actual assholes in the picture, in the group of like profile pictures. So it's like,
that's forward, right?
That's right up front. Yeah,
yeah.
Here's what you're getting.
And he said, a lot of men have been sending close-ups of their assholes before they send their cocks nowadays.
So the asshole has leapfrogged the penis.
Absolutely.
Wow. Didn't
so no
see
more
that
dick
coming.
Pics. It's butt pics,
okay. Didn't I tell you the story about what happened to him when he started his new job? Did I tell you this?
No. Did somebody hold up a picture and go, is this your asshole on the internet?
No. Here we go. Just because you brought it up, he starts his new job. He has to go to, like, I don't know, middle of the U.S. state, like one of those, right? I don't want to say exactly which one, but
that's fine.
Rhymes with lucky. So he goes there, and he gets off the plane and he has to go straight to the office. So he gets there and he's getting trained, he's meeting people. Like he said, within the first 20 minutes, he gets something on his grinder. And it's a guy. Somebody must have taken the picture from above, spreading his ass cheeks, showing his asshole, right?
Mm.
So now he's like, what the hell? Like I just landed. Like it was someone like in the state, like
Local.
it said, yeah. So now he goes to like the warehouse and he starts meeting these people. And sure enough, one of the guys who he met was the guy who sent his asshole.
Oh no!
You remember this, right?
Now I remember.
How do you recognize him?
Right.
Look at Nicole. I remember the story.
Right.
Can you turn around? You look familiar.
Are you? Could you?
So the funny thing is, the guy was all like later on. The guy looked at him, and then when he saw him, my friend, his eyes bulged. Right. But I think, wait, my friend didn't know who he was. He said, guys, he's acting weird. And then when he went back to that picture, he was like, oh my God, that's the guy. That's the guy who just sent me the picture of his asshole. So the guy later on, he pretended like he wasn't him. So then my friend said, I know you sent me this picture, like, we work together, ha ha ha, like joking around. The guy was like, I don't mix pleasure with business. And the guy was like, I'm only here for like a couple of days. And then the guy was like, oh, okay, never mind that. I'll see you at the Christmas party.
Hi-oh. Yeah, there's a good story.
That's
nice
wild.
Ending.
I mean, imagine. This is why men are disgusting. Because girls lesbians would never show their assholes to
How do you
someone.
know?
I have to agree. I tend to agree with that.
How do you know?
It's not a lesbian thing to do. None of the lesbians I know do that.
I just.
How do you know though? You don't know.
I know.
Right.
Oh, I know 4 lesbian couples. Okay, and out of those 4,
right,
they represent the entire culture,
okay.
and none of them do it.
No, they would.
It's a good sample audience.
It is a male thing to do, to show your asshole.
Yeah, I think it is.
All right. Hey, everybody's okay with it, they're doing,
Well,
look at Janine's brother. He loves sharing his asshole off.
Yeah, but we're
he
not
does,
like,
right?
We're
loves
all like,
it.
please stop.
Nobody wants to
if we
see
were
it.
like, yeah, that's fine, send more, then fine. But we're all like, no, come on, man, enough.
Right.
But hey, they ended up together. That's great.
That's really sick.
No, did they hook up?
They hooked up, right? Your friend?
No, they didn't hook up.
Oh.
But actually, I'm going to ask my friend right now if he ever got messages from that guy, because my friend left. My friend left that company, so I'm going to be like, wait.
How does it work though? Like as soon as you fly into the area, like is it geo?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Because then, like, you put in like within 5 miles or whatever, many miles.
Otherwise, how would you, like, if it's across the country, how the hell would you meet each other?
I know, but do you get like, I'm sorry, do you get like notified, like, hey, here's a new fresh meat and just landed, just touched down in the airport? How do you know?
Right. Wait, hold on a minute. Hold on.
I guess if your location is on your phone,
remember that guy who sent you the picture of his spread asshole and then some guy pounding him from behind? Did you ever get message from him again?
Then asking for a friend. That always makes me laugh.
Also,
asking
make sure that's going to the right person.
Yeah, right. I was like, wait a minute.
Sorry, Mom.
Good to have Janie back in the mix. Janie's been a member before.
Janie.
Been living on the replay crew team for a little while. Nice to have her here live. Thanks, Janie.
Excellent.
Sorry you came back on asshole night.
Hey, maybe she's happy she came back on.
Maybe she is. Maybe she is. While we're waiting for an answer from J Sab's friend there, Miss Justice wants to know, what did you type for the search term? You don't even want to know. Like
hairy
Hairy
Bear
ass.
from behind, from up from behind, something like that.
It's interesting that you might say that. I learned that you have to type in naked or else they're all wearing something.
You
Really?
can't just write hair. But if you wrote hairy, but
I started with
can't be-
hairy man ass,
right.
and that was not giving me the results that I needed. So I
Okay.
had to change
How would
that.
it? But it's how would you know if it's hairy? If they're wearing stuff.
Well, I originally was, this is what this is fucked up. I shouldn't say this, but I originally searched hairy man ass with hemorrhoids and pimples because I wanted it to be like totally gross and disgusting.
You see Frank's face.
God, what the?
And I couldn't find anything with that. And then I dropped the hemorrhoid thing and just went with the pimples, and still nothing that great because you got to get the angle too that Kendall had. And then I just went with hairy and realized that this is scary enough. Like, we don't need the pimples and the hemorrhoids popping out and all that kind of shit. So, you know,
But you
I'm
don't.
just glad. I'm just glad it wasn't yours. I was like, if he's showing me his ass, I really don't want to see yours.
yes, I would not. I hope you would know me by now that I would never really do that.
I don't know.
I wouldn't do that. I'll tell you what else too. It was hard to find the Christmas lights to Photoshop into the ass. It was also
Oh
pretty
my
difficult.
God.
You spent way too much time on that.
I did. Yeah, 45 minutes in, I go, this isn't worth it. Here's the worst part. I'm looking at it. I got an iPad filled with hairy asses, and then my daughter comes like running into the studio.
Oh,
She's like, what are
come
you
on.
doing? Yeah. And my son like loves to just
Daddy's working, hon.
Cuddles walked in and goes, I always suspected it. And I was like, no, it's not. You don't have to worry. It's for the show, sweetheart. It's a bit.
Sure.
Any answer there, J Sabs?
No, not yet.
All right, we'll just wait then.
I am
guess.
curious to if once he left, because he knew he left.
Well,
did
he'd have
he
to go
mess-
back to the state, right?
No, I mean like he knew. No, I mean like I knew he left the company. Like, would he be like, "Hey, what's up? Like, so you want to cyber?" Do people even say that anymore?
How old are we?
Oh my God. Can you
Right.
Cyber.
All right.
So
That's
there's a,
you know, I bet you that's technically not even cyber sex anymore. That's probably regular sex for a lot of people,
Right. I know. Aw.
right?
probably Skype sex now. What do they call
Even
it?
Skype sounds like an old person. Who's Zoom sex? I bet you it'd be more.
Oh, Zoom. That's what I meant.
Yeah, that's probably more apropos of our times.
Apropos.
I'd fucking kill myself if I had to meet somebody at this point. I swear to God, I couldn't. Could you imagine trying to date,
No.
find people?
Oh, Oh.
You.
I can't even. Let's skip the treasure story because I want to go to the.
Oh,
did
that
Aunt-
sounded cool. Did
did
it
Aunt
get hit
get
on?
hit on?
oh God. Let's hear this.
All right.
I'm gonna vote no right off the bat. Let's go ahead. Let's hear the story.
I want you to hear the whole thing out. So, long story short, you know, my daughter was sick. Now my son is sick, right?
No.
He's got an ear infection. So Cuddles takes him to the doctor this morning, blah, blah, blah. Go get a prescription. And right, they don't have it at our, we have a CVS like right here. They don't have it. So I have to go like a town over to go get it. It's like a 10-minute drive. So I go and they're like hustling, bustling back there in CVS. By the way, oh, Janine, you would hate this. When I was getting the medicine for CC over the weekend, there was like a line 20 people deep
See, I told you.
for the vaccine. For the,
No. Oh God. No.
It's hard to tell who was for the COVID and who was for the flu, but they were hopping, Frank. It was like a party. I mean, it was like an elderly party, but it was a party
Hey,
of people there to get their shots and everything.
Well,
nothing wrong with that.
And this one guy goes to sit down and he goes, "Is this the right number booster?" Like, I don't know. And the woman was like, "It doesn't matter. This is the one now."
It's all the same
Just sit
booster.
down.
It's all a booster.
Yeah. She's like, "We don't
Frank,
keep
you didn't
track
get
of
it, did you?
No, I haven't gotten it.
You're not going to.
I'm not.
I'm asking you.
I don't think any. I mean,
I don't think
No,
he
I
is. I
haven't.
think he stopped after number 17.
all joking aside, I don't want to get into this, but I see a lot of ads, and maybe because they're like sponsoring the Islanders now, so that's maybe why I'm seeing ads more for like Moderna and all this. Doesn't it feel a little weird that it's being sold now versus when it was being provided?
Yep, for free.
It takes
Mhm.
it feels a
Yeah.
little like, oh, this is just business now. And look,
Nice.
I get it. The older people, the ones
At risk,
immunocompromised.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess you got to pay to reach them and keep them in the know and all that stuff. But I don't know, it just feels a little tainted to me. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. So
Yeah, did you get hit on? You're at CVS.
So I go to the CVS now, and there's a couple of people, not as busy, but there's more people like pharmacist type people, right? So for whatever reason, this medicine, because the same thing happened with Cece, the guy, I give him the name, and he goes, "Oh, the pharmacist has to mix it, whatever that means." I don't know if it's like in the bottle already, and they just have to be the one to shake it. I don't even know.
Yep.
But
Whoop. Hold on.
are you about to say something?
Yeah. I'll say it after. Go ahead.
Okay. So I look over. So now I'm at the counter, and behind there's like 4 people. They're all women, and they're measuring and counting and putting things in bags and stuff. They're assisting, right? But I look over, and there is a garden hose hanging from the ceiling. So I look up now, and I notice there must be some sort of a leak. And this thing that I have never ever seen before, which is like a tarp almost, but like a perfectly made for this type of thing. And then it has like a nozzle on it so that you could just put a garden hose to it, and then they routed it to a bucket on the floor
What the fuck?
to like catch whatever air conditioning drip, whatever thing that was going on, or rain. I don't know what I'm assuming air conditioning, even though it's not that hot. That was kind of a dumb assumption. But anyway, it's like catching this whole thing. So now I'm like looking, like trying to, when something weird catches your eye and you're like, why is there a garden hose? And then you're looking up.
Sure.
So I'm like invested in this thing. I look down, and there's a young lady. By young, I mean like probably 30, 32, 35. Nose piercing, brunette, staring dead right back at me. So we make the first bit of eye contact there. Now, here's my assessment. I want everybody's opinion on this. You could meet eyes with somebody, a stranger, pure coincidence, right?
Sure.
People lock eyes all the time. It's weird. Then on the second, I have to minimize my screen over here because there's man ass just like staring back at me. Then there's the second eye lock, which I also feel is not a flirt yet, because after the first eye lock, I feel like is that person looking at me? And if both people are checking, there could be 2 accidental, coincidental eye locks.
Okay.
When does it become a flirt? Because I feel like on that third time around where the person is just looking right at you.
Could it have been that you were up next and she wanted your date of birth for
No,
the prescription or whatever?
I was at the counter, and there was somebody else helping me. She was in the back filling bags and doing pharmacy stuff.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Was it because you were like this, looking at a garden hose coming out of the ceiling?
Well, that was the first thing. That's
Wait,
what put me
What
in
she
her
did?
her eyesight, her eye line. That's what put me there. So now I do what I always do, which is check the schnoz. I'm like, do I have a massive boogie hanging that is causing this person to stare at me?
Did you look behind you? Maybe she.
I did. I did. I'm like, is there a friend of hers from high school behind? I don't
Right.
know. I checked. Nothing. I think it was a little bit of a.
Checking you out?
I'd fuck that dad father figure looking middle-aged overweight kind of cute man. I think that's what it was. I think it was
plausible.
a flirt.
The way you phrased it just there. What else could it be?
I think I got hit on, which is, it seems to be happening once a year at this point.
What? Uh-oh.
Just about. I mean, and by once a year, I mean once every 5 years.
Right.
Up here, it's once a year, though.
And I mean, every time we have a new presidential election, basically, it coincidentally
Set
happens.
your watch by it.
Yeah.
You mean
3 eye locks, though. I mean, I think that's a flirt. I think that's a.
Maybe she's been looking at pills all day and she just had to get her eyes unfocused off of the friggin' pills. So she's like, all right, what's this weirdo looking at?
And she didn't know.
Did she look up at the hose too? Like, or she locked on you? Did she also go like that?
Because I was up at the hose, and then as I came down to go to the bucket, when I came back up, dead eye lock right there.
Hmm.
In
Oh.
it.
Could she have been caught in one of those stares? You know, you just stare and you just
Again, that's
zone
why
out.
that's why I am on a 3 eye lock rule
Oh.
where the first can be coincidental, and then I feel like there's always is that person trying to look at me?
Did
And
you
you look
notice her look away between eye locks, or was it consistent stare for all three?
there was a considerable amount of time because there could have been more looks. These are just the times that I looked because
You
again,
caught-
it's coincidental. One, now I go back to check. Two,
and there was considerable time between all three locks.
easily 30 to 45 seconds because I'm standing up there for at least 5 minutes because I had to wait for the other pharmacist to because I think there's only one pharmacist in these stores and the rest are like assistant
Yep.
pharmacies people. And I was waiting for the big dog to come on over and shake up the medicine and hand it to me. Tell me to keep it in the refrigerator.
He's got to mix it. We need the mixer.
That's it.
Yeah, and I'm like, they said it to me on Saturday when I picked it up for my daughter, and I'm waiting to hear like a blend, like a you know, like
I bet
mixing.
it's probably literally he's taking this and putting it into one bottle.
Maybe.
And because I don't know, do they do that there? Maybe it's like a antibiotic with
I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know what the hell they're mixing.
It's just, I think it's a big scam, to be honest with you. But they just give you some pink sludge, and then your kid gets over it anyway in 3 days. You know what's
Did you
weird
get
though?
the bubblegum medicine? That was my favorite.
It looks like bubblegum. I don't know if it's bubblegum flavored. I haven't tried it yet. But you know what's weird? They give it to you now with these little like droppers.
Okay.
It's no longer the little cup. Remember the little cup we used to have with the measurement on it?
Yeah, like a NyQuil cup.
It's like I think you suck it out.
Like a syringe.
That's what she said.
So, so Cece had like 7 bottles, right? She's like all these crazy things. So every bottle gets a syringe. So the girl's packing it up for me on Saturday. Not the one who was flirting with me. This other girl helped me on Saturday, packing it up, and she goes, "I put all the syringes in here," and I'm literally in dazed, not sleeping. Daughter just in the emergency room for 7 hours day before, and I'm like, "Oh my god, do I have to?" Are these needles? Like I have to give her the way she said syringe.
Tie her off, or what's?
And
let's go. You have to heat it up with a spoon or something. What's going on?
And she sees how I'm looking at her, like clearly befuddled, like this is too much information for me to process. And she's like,
I don't get the syringe though. What happened to a tablespoon?
"This can't be done." Now you stick the syringe in.
That seems like a huge waste of plastic.
Yeah.
Per dose, like every time you give it to it's a new syringe.
It's a new, yeah, because I guess they're like every bottle gets a syringe, so she's like they're all in here, and I'm like,
crazy.
I'm looking at it, and she's like, the syringes are in here, and I'm like, oh, the sucker plunger thingies. And she was like, okay, asshole, like whatever you say.
To a layman.
I'm like, I don't think you should call those a syringe because a typical syringe has a needle at the end of it, you know?
Well, that's a syringe with a needle.
We just got to come up with another name for that because for kids, it's a bit too much.
I guess.
It's weird. Okay, here's the thing. It's weird that they give you so many syringes. Why can't they just give you one? I don't know why.
I'll tell you why. Robin's got it right here. Go ahead, Frank. Tell the
Big
world.
Yep.
plastic.
Yep.
I guess. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it was tablespoon, a couple tablespoons. and
Right.
done.
That's it.
What's the problem?
You
What
know,
happened to that?
what's funny? Even when my cat had to get medicine a couple of weeks ago, she gave me the medicine in the syringe. She gave me like 10 syringes full of medicine. And I'm like, know that like I can like
wash the syringe or whatever you got to,
Right.
I don't understand that. How much medicine is in each? Like you fill up the syringe. Is it like not a tablespoon's worth, or is it like a lot?
0.5, something weird. I don't even know.
5 milliliters. Yeah. So for Michael, one of his doses is 11. So we got to fill it up to 6 and then fill it back up to 5.
That's a lot
to give it to him. Rhoda says the syringe is the part that's not the needle, and then follow that up with What a
the plane.
moron.
What a moron.
But does everybody know that? Because doesn't syringe sound like a needle? It doesn't sound like the plunger sucky part.
I guess. Yeah, when you hear syringe, I guess
That sounds
your
sharp.
mind goes to needle.
The word sounds sharp, yes.
Yeah, but I guess when you're talking about the whole thing, you just refer to it as a needle.
I miss giving myself shots in my stomach every single day. Oh wait, no, I don't.
Oh shit! I had to do that I had to do that to somebody else, not to me. That is not a fun experience.
That doesn't sound fun.
No, it's not fun at all. I don't like it.
Yeah, no.
You know what is fun? Finding $20 billion of sunken treasure.
Way to go, big dog.
Thank you.
See,
And
and
legacy.
everybody says you don't know how to DJ seg, and look at that.
Who said that?
I was on a message board somewhere.
So yeah, you probably got hit on. Good for you.
I think I might have gotten. This is a big. I'm gonna write it down on my calendar, and then.
What did Cuddle say when you told her?
I didn't tell her yet. I would never tell her.
She's finding out right now.
Yeah. Down in off the coast of Colombia, there believes to be a 3-century-old sunken ship that is holding $20 billion worth of treasure.
Man, there's still treasure out there. That's fun.
A mission to recover this has been started by the Colombian government.
$20 billion worth on one ship? How could that be?
The Colombian president, Gustavo Petro. What a fucking great Gustavo. I mean, there's not a better name.
You think they call him Gus?
I hope not. Gustavo shouldn't be shortened. It's so good.
All right.
Has ordered his administration to exhume the holy grail of shipwrecks. The Spanish.
Spanish.
Oh,
Whoops.
yes.
You ever get up to a word where you're like, I should know how to pronounce this?
Spell it.
Galleon.
Gaillon. Gaillon.
Okay,
I don't think it's Gaillon.
ION galleon. It's a part of it's a fleet of ships. It's a
Wait,
part of
are you saying GALLON?
Galleon.
Oh, EON. Galleon.
Galleon, right? That's what I thought.
Nautical,
Okay.
It's a nautical term.
That's what I thought. Okay. I was gonna say galleon, but then I went into Viola with a lot of confidence too. So, from the floor of the Caribbean Sea. Do you say Caribbean or Caribbean?
I say Caribbean.
I say both. I like to switch between the two.
Because you don't conform to anybody's bullshit, J-Subs. That's what I like about you.
Right.
Well, I go by Royal Caribbean, so it's Caribbean.
Okay.
Imagine if it was Royal Caribbean.
My friend who is from the Caribbean. Wait, hold on.
South. The tropics.
My friend who is from the Caribbean. She says Caribbean.
She says Caribbean.
She says Caribbean.
All right. So Royal Caribbean's got it right.
So it's Caribbean.
But no, people could say Caribbean.
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah, she's Caribbean. Caribbean. Oh.
I think
So
when
Billy Ocean was wrong.
That's a win. That's Caribbean.
It's Caribbean Queen.
Sharing the same drink.
That was my fault. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I blame that one on me.
What's the next line?
Now we're sharing the same dream.
No. Isn't it? And our heart
And
can
our
beat as
hearts
one.
can beat as one. No more love on the run. Bum, 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 bum.
Why would you turn down love on the run? Isn't that the best kind of love?
Yeah.
When you're on the run from something?
But if you're in the Caribbean, you really don't want to run anywhere.
Caribbean.
Sure.
Anyway, it's on the floor of the sea. And Petro wants to bring the 62-gun, 3-masted ship to the surface before his term is up in 2026 and has requested a public-private partnership to be formed to see it through.
Public-private?
Mm-hmm. The mystery surrounds the ownership of the massive trove of gold, silver, and emeralds, estimated to be worth anywhere between $4 billion and $20 billion, according to an ongoing lawsuit. I guess they're fighting over who actually owns this fucking shit.
Yeah.
Can you fight over that if you can't get to it? You're like, I own that, but I can't get to it. I don't know.
Well, I feel like if it's in international water, it's whoever gets it, or it's whoever lost. I don't know if it goes to whoever's ship it belongs. Like if it's from Spain, then it's if it's theirs, or if it's whoever finds it. Like if it's a shipwreck and no one's claiming it, then it's whoever gets to it first. I think.
Your Honor, finders keepers. I mean, it's right in.
I mean, why do we have that rule?
Yeah.
That's not a rule. Well, it damn well should be.
The ship sank 2,000 feet on June 8th, 1708, and during a battle against the British in the War of the Spanish Succession.
Oh.
So, yeah, they believe it was carrying all this stuff, which now today, with inflation and everything, cool $4 billion.
Why would a warship be carrying all that stuff?
I don't know. That's just what that kind of shit did.
Okay.
The wreck was found and photographed underwater in 2015 when then President Juan Manuel Santos, which if you have a second place to Gustavo, it's Juan Manuel.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Said the country's Navy found the San Jose wreck, that's the name of the ship, at a different location at the sea floor. Colombia has never released the coordinates of the ship's final resting place. So that's why if you're like, why haven't they just gone down there and get it? That's because they've never released it. So nobody knows exactly where the hell this is. But I don't know why the Navy itself hasn't gone down and gotten
Who's
it.
Navy?
The Colombian Navy.
Well, maybe it's hard to get to 2,000 feet down. That's not easy.
It might be, yeah, because they photographed some of it. You could see some pictures of it online if you Google this.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the how far down we can go to excavate something. Maybe that's a little far. I don't know. Who knows? But
excavator. Bam knows that song.
I know that one.
Unfortunately.
$20 billion. I mean, I guess a lot of that has to be just because it's very historic.
Yeah.
It can't just be plain $20 billion of gold. It's got to be like, some kind of historic significance.
It's the historical significance is a big part of it, but it is gold. It's like pure gold too. It's like
that's
they didn't mess around back in the day. They all they had was gold. They couldn't fill it with other shit. Fucking, they didn't have gold plating back then.
I don't know.
And some emeralds, and it's got some shit.
Jeez.
Which makes me think, what are these assholes doing over there at the fucking Titanic? Go swing down to Colombia. Fucking water's warmer.
Was warmer.
I
don't think it was. What was the Titanic? How many feet down was that? Like 7,000, 10,000? I don't remember.
I don't even remember. I wanted to say 1,800, but I don't. Now I'm unsure of everything.
I'm unsure of. Yeah, the whole world's been turned upside down here. Titanic depth is 12,500 feet.
Oh, so this is
way closer.
You could take a PlayStation joystick submarine down to this shit and fucking pick it up.
So.
No problem.
Yeah, I don't know how you're getting out and collecting stuff and then getting back in.
It seems crazy. I have Flicks picks for everybody. I think we're gonna skip the vacation plans. I'm trying to plan a vacation with my parents. It's not.
Why with your parents?
It's not going well.
You hate your life even more?
Like somewhere other than Disney?
Well, here's what happened.
Okay.
I don't want to dwell on
skipping this
because we got blind.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about this, but it's driving me a little crazy.
Give us the little gist of what you're talking about.
Here's the gist. My parents, who are lovely people, who I don't mind really being around. I know people don't.
Nice of you.
They're nice. I let them hang out with me every now and then. It's good.
Decent. You're a decent guy.
Yeah. But they just lost a friend of theirs, like a friend of like 60 years, right? Somebody who I love dearly too. So it's been tough for everybody. But this is somebody that my father literally grew up with. And then,
so one of the swinging partners.
It's not one of the swinging partners. It's one of the people they didn't like when they were not the swinging group, looking at all the people going into the swinging club. It was one of their friends.
Okay.
One of those. Anyway, and it's a really beautiful. So they grew up together in the same neighborhood, lived their lives relatively close, stayed in touch, hung out. I knew them and blah blah blah. And then when they retired, that the two of them and some other people too went and moved into the same fucking area in Florida. I mean, it's such a beautiful story.
Yeah, not swingers. Go ahead.
So unfortunately, he passed, and I think it's hitting them particularly hard. And when I was younger, my grandparents like had this idea of like, we want the whole family to go on a cruise together. And so that's what they did. And they planned this whole thing. And we have this like beautiful, wonderful memory. So I think they were really struck by this. And they were like, let's go. We want to do this. Let's go on a cruise next year. We had planned, like Disney was our plan for next year. We're like, the kids, they're going to be aging out of it. We're going to go to Disney. So my parents say this and I go, we were planning on going to Disney in December. So if we did something like in the spring, this would be like perfect, Yeah. So they pick a date. So that was how I left off. Then they come back to me. They go, well, August is when we're gonna go. I'm like, okay. I'm like, how much is the thing in August? So they tell me how much it is. Now I'm trying to fit a Disney vacation into the same year. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be like
Disney cruise.
Please, forget it. You can't, it's impossible. Like,
how is that impossible? That's a combination of you do one trip and you cover both bases.
It's like insanely expensive. Anyway.
Yeah, but it can't be more expensive than doing two separate trips, right?
I bet you know what? I bet it's close.
Disney plus a vacation with your parents?
Swear to you. Yep.
Wow. All right.
How much do you think Disney is, Frank? For a family of four, let's say you go for...
I'm sure it's a few thou.
Like how much is a few thou to you?
For a family of four, for what, 5 days?
I'd say, 5 nights, 6 days. Park tickets, flight.
Probably like $1,000 a day.
It's about between
Give or take?
5 and 6 with, that's not including flights or food.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, all right. It's about $1,000 a day, flights and food.
Yeah. So we're trying to pull it, and it's difficult to do. So now, I tell my father, I go, I think it's a great idea. I'd love to go. Let's shoot for the spring. So my mother and father come back and they go, we found a great date in August. So I'm like, okay. So they tell me how much the August trip is, and I go, it's a little bit more than we were planning on spending. And they, you know, our parents from our old neighborhood. They're like, we got a guy. Somebody.
These tickets fell right off the back of the boat.
Yeah, like, don't worry about it. So they're doing that whole thing, and I'm like, yeah. So I go and I look up this other, because I got a guy too. So I go look at this other thing, and I'm like, I don't know. I found like a week in April, like in the spring, when it's like way cheaper to go, like half the price, right? So I'm like, let's go then. So they're like, okay, like, and my parents literally said to me, they go, we're retired. We can go anytime. So I'm like, okay, perfect. So then my wife goes, oh, that's the week that the kids are off from school. I'm like, great. We don't even have to pull them out of school. Like, not that I care that they're going to miss a week of coloring. But I'm like, this will be great. So then I'm like, oh, wait, we have to fly down there. Let me go look at flights.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, no bueno. No bueno.
$400 to $600 a ticket.
That's stupid.
To go from New York to Florida during that week.
Wait, let me ask you something. Where is this going? This cruise?
The Caribbean.
Is it like a 7 Caribbean or Caribbean?
The Caribbean.
Is it like 7 nights?
7 nights, which is what I love too, because my parents found a way to fight over. They find a way to fight over anything. Like, if you want to know what it's like to be in my house with my parents, just watch an episode of Seinfeld and look at the Costanzas, because that's basically it.
Yeah. Well, right.
Yeah.
George.
The speed of which they go to screaming is unbelievable, and what they fight over is the stupidest shit. So I call them. This is back and forth over a couple of days now. So I call them up when I come to this realization it's going to be another $2,400 to fly the fucking family down there and back. And I go, April is out. We can't do April. So they're like, well, let's go back to August. And I'm like, now it's killing me, because I'm like,
why are they so dead set on August?
Because they had just started the process. They were like, do you guys want to go? And we were like, we want to go. And so they're like, all right. So they just like put it in motion. I don't think they thought we were going to be like, oh, we can't do it. Like that's a bit more than we want to spend because it's not the worst deal in the world. But now it's killing me because I'm like, there's a time where this is half the price. And now
I know. It's annoying. It's stupid.
Double is what's driving me crazy. So I just go and I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, in December, when we were planning on going down to Florida for Disney anyway, there's a week there where the thing is, again, half of what it is in August.
Right.
So I'm like, this works out great timing. So now I go to Cuddles and I go, you want to do this? Because it'll be a big thing, like a week and a half away, 2 weeks away, 13 days, whatever it turns out to be. I go, but it's a big time, to take the kids out of school and all that jazz. I go, wait, she's like, I don't care. She's like, it's important.
Yeah.
I understand your parents. She's like, we all want to go. The kids are going to have a great time. Blah, blah, blah. Because this is the other part of this. Like Royal Caribbean is running ads down there that this boat was rated the #1 family vacation in Orlando.
Ooh.
Like with Disney right there, they're like, people are picking this boat over,
Ooh.
So they're like, this is gonna be great for kids. Like my father's like, there's a carousel. I'm like,
Oh God.
I'm like, the carousel is the last thing they're gonna go on. They're gonna destroy everything else. But okay, I get it. You're excited. I'm excited. So I'm like, all right, December. Okay, so we're warming up to the idea. Figuring we could probably make flights work relatively easy because it's like December and like middle of the week kind of flying shit,
Right.
So I call my mother up and I go, what do you think about? I go, and she goes, is this about the cruise? And I go, yeah. She goes, your father and I have talked.
Oh boy.
And we have decided that we are not going to do the cruise. So I go,
oh God.
why? She goes, I don't think you really want to do it. And I'm like, this is everything in my family. Like this whole, you don't want to do this with me. Like this whole, like you can't have like a slight reservation or like, hey, maybe we could do it this way. So I go, no, we want to do it. And we just want to find a way to make it work. It's 52 goddamn weeks in the year. We can find one of them that will work. So I go, now I'm all excited because I'm like, wait, not only am I going to prove you wrong that we want to do it, because we really do. I'm like, we've found it. We found the Holy Grail, right? So I go, we'll do it in December when we come down for Disney. Oh no, I can't do it in December.
Why?
She goes, well, because I give her the week, and she goes, well, it's like 5 days later we have to go up to New York. I go, and she goes, no, that's too much for your father and I. After they got done telling me we could go anytime.
Yeah, we're retired.
Yeah, we're retired. Suddenly there's a blackout date right around the fucking time that we found like the perfect thing. And so then my father goes, well, we don't have to go on a 7-day. They have like 5-day cruises away. And my mother's like, I am not going on a 5-day cruise. Absolutely not. And he's like, what's the difference? It's the same shit. And she's like, I will not go. It is not the same. And they're screaming at each other as I'm just like listening to the conversation.
Definitely
Was there
like a Seinfeld.
Yeah, was there a marble rye discussed at all during this whole thing?
But I don't know how to convince my mother that I want to go, that like we all want to go,
Yeah. You just got to keep telling them, no, we want to go. We want to go.
Yeah.
What if you just booked it and you just surprise them with it for like this Christmas as their present or something?
Well, it really killed me, the whole December thing, because I'm like, oh, this will be great. And then, we can buy the airfare, do the whole shit and whatever and figure it. And she's just like, no. And I don't think you want to. So now I'm like, now I got to go on a mission to convince her that we want to do it and find the right. It's a whole thing's a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, good luck with all that. All right, what's your flicks pick?
Oh yes. All right. So you ready in the blind top 5? Because we gotta move this along.
Yeah,
here.
blind top 5 is coming up in a couple minutes.
AOA Flicks Picks. I think we talked about this. I believe you guys suggested it to me, but now I can't remember.
Oh God.
But Cuddles and I just watched it over the weekend, and I was blown away.
Blown, Jerry. Blown.
so blown away
What
by.
is it?
Wait, I have to make sure I got the name right. I don't think I do. Arrival.
Arrival with the hell's her name?
Amy Adams,
Oh, Amy Adams. Okay.
Jeremy Renner, and Forrest Whitaker. Have you seen this one?
I believe I
What?
did. I'm confusing it. Arrival with Annihilation. I think it's
Maybe you are.
Arrival is the one where they write in circles. You know that whole email. It's like a
The aliens arrive. Yes, and they're
language,
trying to
okay, I
communicate
got it.
with. Yes,
yeah, that was good. You were blown away.
dude, good. I thought it was Arrival.
Hold on.
It's on Netflix right now. On Monday,
It's a
November
bunch of years
6th.
old.
It's from 2016, and I just saw it. It leaves Netflix on November 30th, so get on it while you can.
What made you want to watch this?
I gave Cuddles. I don't, because I thought you guys suggested it when you were talking about alien movies.
I thought we did. Yeah, it was a good movie.
I think you did. So it was that. Black Klansman. There was a couple of movies.
Also a good movie.
What's the one with the thread one with
Thread?
yeah, what's it? Phantom Thread.
I don't know that.
This was my wife's choices of movies. Black Klansman, Arrival, Phantom Thread, No Hard Feelings, and Old Dads. Old Dads is written and directed by Bill Burr on Netflix.
That's
Right.
on my list.
We watched that one. It was very funny.
Cool.
It
We
was
saw
good.
Okay.
we saw No Hard Feelings. That was pretty good.
You like that? Yeah.
It
No
wasn't
hard
bad.
feelings.
That's
Oh.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh yeah. Channel's been wanting to see that one. I'm like, what are you on your period?
What?
What?
Seems like a chick flick, is it?
No, I
not
don't
really,
think so. I don't think so.
No?
Not at all.
It's about her trying to bang a young kid to get a car.
Oh.
Like the
She makes a
kid
deal
that-
with his parents.
Yeah, he's going to college, and she has to date him so he'll come out of his shell.
Oh, it sound was it good?
It wasn't bad.
It looks funnier than I thought Old Dads was good, but it dragged a little. There were some funny, hysterical moments in it. It's like watching Bill Burr's act play out in a movie. It was great. And like political correct, like the whole thing is about how shitty political correctness is. It's very, very entertaining. But Arrival, I was just like blown away by this
All right, yeah,
movie.
I have to watch this because we watched 2 movies this weekend that were horrendous, and we both fell asleep to both of them. That's how.
Which one?
Well, it was on Hulu with Winona Ryder, Gone in the Night,
Never heard it.
and then another one which I'm upset about. I'm gonna have to finish it though. It's called A Haunting in Venice with what's her face? There's a few well known. What's her name?
I know the one you're talking about.
Liz Lemon.
Yeah.
You know her. You know who I mean.
Those sound
Tina
like
Fey.
2 movies I'll never fucking watch ever.
A Haunting
Fey.
in Venice. It did look good.
Tina Fey?
Tina Fey.
All right.
Jamie Dornan is in it. Oh, I like him. He's from 50 Shades. Oh God, yes.
Jeez.
All right, so you didn't like
Are we-
those 2.
Nope.
So non-flicks picks.
Yeah,
to know.
but maybe
Unpicks.
if I watch finish watching A Haunting of Venice, I'll like it. He fell asleep way earlier. He fell asleep first, which he never falls asleep first, right?
So is the girl, yes.
Right. And it was like 10:15 Saturday night, and I look over, I go, "You fucking snoring? Wake the fuck up and watch this with me."
That's the thing
Well-
about films, though. Once you get into your 40s, like a movie has got to be good, or else
Yes.
you are checking the fuck out and sleeping.
Hell
Yep.
yeah. Grab my attention, you bastards.
Exactly, and that's what I love about Arrival, because it was like, it was the kind of thing where it's like 20 minutes in, 25 minutes in, I'm like, the fuck is going on here? Like, what's fucking happening?
Something's
Right.
up with this.
And then
All right.
the beginning was a little off-putting. I didn't care for the beginning because I don't like what happens at the beginning, I don't really care for. I have a hard time with it. But once you get past that, and then it's like very mysterious, and then you're trying to figure it all out, and then you get to the end, and it's just I don't want to give it away. I want everybody to go in cold, but it's one of those movies where I've never seen this kind of a movie before, and it makes you, as soon as it's done, you start thinking, "Holy shit, am I thinking about the world
differently
the wrong way?" Yeah, I'm thinking about it differently now because I've seen this film, and I'm wondering if we've got it all wrong. Which is amazing to do. I mean, it's hard to get that feeling anymore.
Yeah. I agree. I have to
You think
rewatch
I'll
that.
like it? You think I'll like it? Because I like alien movies.
It is unlike any other alien movie that has ever been put out.
Come on.
Unlike it. I mean it from a standpoint of like, usually it's like aliens arrive and then Tom Cruise does 90 stunts in a row to fucking save his children.
Like your typical action alien fighting them with guns kind of movie.
Exactly. It's not that whatsoever. So it's kind of refreshing. And again, I don't know if I would love it as much if I wasn't on such a shitty movie streak.
Okay, I get it.
Where I'm kind of like, oh, this is something to fucking think about. This is some purpose.
So Arrival. Everybody go see Arrival. It's on Netflix, leaving at the end of the month.
Till November 30th. And if you watch it, I want to know what you think. Let me know if I'm an asshole or not. Also, CVS Girl, if you're out there. Okay. Blind Top 5. Aaron C is here.
Oh, okay.
Hi, guys.
I'm excited. Aaron, what did you think of Arrival? Do you remember this film?
I saw it but I didn't see it with Frank. I saw it with a friend of mine. Frank, did you see it?
I feel like I saw it, but I don't remember all of it. I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
I didn't think this was gonna lead to the end of your marriage. I didn't.
I liked it, but J Sabs, I don't think you'll like it. I'm not saying don't see it, but I think that you're gonna come back next week and be really angry with at least two of us.
Yeah, because this is why I don't like. You're right. This is why I don't like suggesting things to her or the rest of our group because they're immediately like, "What are you fucking stupid? That movie sucked."
Well, you have a bad track record with.
What's his name? The other Anthony always says that I have the worst taste in music because I don't like, I don't know, his rock music. Or and Frank, I see you shaking your head, you motherfucker. I have the worst taste in music, and he says I have the worst taste in movies because I don't
say that a lot.
He does, right? Thank you.
For a guy who doesn't say a lot of stuff, he says that a lot.
I feel like I'm singled out, and I'm like, what did I ever do to you, man?
You suggested terrible movies.
Oh, I know why. Because when we were younger, like way younger, he put on that Mel Gibson movie where he paints his face. What's it called?
Braveheart?
Yeah, there you go. I did not like it. And he cannot get over that I don't like that movie.
I'll give him that you have weird tastes in movies. Both of you.
I don't think she does, but I think that not liking Braveheart is weird. That's a good fucking movie.
Okay, how about this? He doesn't like whatchamacallit? Chevy Chase Christmas movie. What's it called?
Oh yeah, he's such an asshole for that.
That's like for Christmas Vacation. How do you not like that movie?
It's a classic.
How do you not like?
How did the two of you not like Princess Bride?
Yeah, that movie stunk.
No, I don't like.
You suck.
Who's the guy in that? Mandy Patinkin?
You sure?
Okay, I love saying his name.
Mandy Patinkin.
And I'm on a Mandy Patinkin algo. Like my TikTok, every other thing is Mandy Patinkin on TikTok doing something.
Okay.
I hated that movie, but there's something about that man that is just. Was he in anything else? Because I can't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, he was. I don't know about movies, but he was in. What's that show? Homeland. What's that? No, the one with Claire Danes.
Yeah, I thought it was Homeland.
Homeland? Oh, he was in Homeland.
He was in Homeland, and I loved him in Homeland.
Yeah, I didn't see that. There's something about him. I see him. I go, what do I know him from? And it's not Princess Bride. I can't place it, but I don't know. He's got a very calm demeanor, and I like saying Mandy Patinkin. There's something about that name that's so much fun to say.
Good. All right. So blind top 5.
Okay.
So how are we doing this?
The first topic is solved mysteries, in that you'll learn the answer to these mysteries.
Ooh, now this is for all three of us to put on.
This is for all three of you.
Okay.
And just a caveat, 2 caveats. One is that you can't you can't share it with anybody else. You can't make money off of this. It's just for you to know. If you want to think of it as a way of like, after you die, in what order do you like, where you can't, you're in heaven, you can't share the info. What's the amount of, what's the order in which you'd want these mysteries solved when you were told exactly what happened with each of them?
Just for your own personal.
And
Wait, so we're picking the order in which we want these 5 mysteries solved.
yeah,
I guess
and
the
that
order of its importance to you.
Yes.
Wow, that's a big one. Okay, that's good.
And the second caveat is that none of them are, does space exist? Which is something that JSAB's roommate asked us all in the group chat today, which I thought was kind
Is
of
your
funny.
roommate high?
Yeah, right. I wish.
That was good.
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten over that. Okay.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
All right. So number 1.
Wait, before we start, I'm
Okay.
sorry, Aaron.
Yeah.
Are we doing 3 games or 1 game or 2 games? 2. Perfect. Okay.
All 3 of you at the same
Okay.
time.
Top
Okay.
5 mysteries you'd like to see solved first. Okay.
So number 1 is what really happened with JFK.
Shit.
It's a tough one.
It's anticipating what she's gonna say next.
Exactly.
I already have it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Next. I don't have all night, folks.
Wait,
Are
I
you
forgot.
ready
We're
yet?
saying this right away, right?
Yeah.
You're
I
saying
think
it right
so.
away?
Yes.
5.
Okay.
5.
What?
I
The
know.
one of
I
the
don't
biggest
really care.
mysteries. Okay. I put it in as 2.
I put it as
Wow.
2 as well.
Wow. Okay, next.
Bird has it as 3. Paige is 3. Robin 4. All right.
Go ahead.
Okay. 2, what really happened with the moon landing?
4.
5.
Me and Frank are on par right now. I say 5.
Because it happened.
It's not a
Let's
mystery
move-
to me.
Yeah, let's move on, people. We landed on the moon. We landed on the moon.
3 is Area 51 and aliens.
That's going to be number 1 for me.
Yeah, I know.
Aliens.
How'd you know?
I've met you.
And you go, I hope the next one is difference between Valentine's hearts and regular hearts.
All right, I'm gonna
Inside
write
joke.
down. Oh my god, I don't think I know how to spell this word. Shit. All right, I wrote down
Area or
a
51.
I wrote down a word because my list is JFK 2, Area 51 3,
Ooh, I
and
put area. Go ahead.
Moon Landing 5. Where'd you put Area 51?
I put it in as 1.
Okay, I wrote down a word, and this word, this is what I think Aaron is going to say. This is what I'm saving number 1 for. I'm going to put it right here.
And it's a word you can't spell.
I think I might spell it wrong. Okay, go ahead. Aaron.
Chappaquiddick?
Oh, no. All right.
Okay.
Number 4 is any missing person where it was a mystery. You know now what happened to them.
Ooh,
You only get 1, or you get to know all of them?
Anyone that's ever been missing that's a mystery. If you find out what happened.
Okay,
Missing
so
two.
all the missing people mysteries are solved.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right. I'm going to put that at 4 because I can't really think of anybody off the top of my head.
That's one for me.
Okay, well, I guess you don't care as much as me because I have joined Long Island Missing People Facebook group. Go ahead.
Oh, making
Are
a
you guys
difference, one Facebook group at a time.
We've got to find you a hobby. I mean, realistically.
Oh, let me tell you something. Missing people are.
It's very interesting.
It is very interesting to me.
All right, that's
put that in
4
as
for
3.
me.
I
3?
did 3.
All right.
And Janine, where was that for you?
That was number 2.
Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to hold my paper up just underneath the thing here. Let's go,
And
Aaron.
number 5 is the Illuminati.
Damn.
Oh, that was number 3 for
Oh.
me.
List is did I got Aaron.
What did you say? I couldn't see.
Yeah, what was your word? Pyramid.
Oh,
Pyramids.
should have done that one instead of the moon landing. That was better. That was better.
I thought you were going to hit us with the pyramids. That's why I was saving number 1. The Illuminati's
Well-
still pretty interesting, though.
I
I
think
really
pyramids.
thought she was gonna. Okay, I thought she was gonna go lizard people. Fuck. Come on, Erin.
I think that's all wrapped up. Lizard people, pyramids. It's all has to do with Area 51.
Gay frogs? You didn't go with the gay frogs? Very disappointed.
are gay. I put obviously my last spot was number 4, so and I could live with that.
I would redo my list. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd have JFK and Area 51 higher. I'd have that 1 and 2.
That's what I got. 1 and 2. Area 51, JFK, 1 and 2.
I think my list is perfect. JFK
my
is at 5, Moon is at 4, Area 51 is at 1, Missing People 2, Illuminati 3.
Missing people's way too high on that list.
I like. My
Okay,
list.
we'll see.
I'm very happy with my list. I think.
I can't think of a missing person that I want to know what happened to them.
Lindbergh, baby.
Yeah, I don't even know.
They found him.
Did they really?
I thought so.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought he was found not alive.
Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, Amelia Earhart. That Madeline McCann, that girl that we
Oh, see, exactly.
Madeline McCann.
Madeline McCann.
Maura Murray. Really interesting stuff, but don't go down the rabbit hole. The Springfield 3. Oh, if you want to waste an entire week, look up the
Oh,
Springfield.
that was a big one.
This is where me and Erin just get it.
And
Right, Erin?
I'm with you too. I got them at number 3, Missing People.
Or even like local missing people too. There is this story about this guy who the last time they saw him was getting off an exit ramp onto the from 231 to Sunrise Highway, and there's pictures of his car on the ramp, but there's the next thing, they can't find him next.
You're saying the next camera that should have picked him up didn't?
Yep, which is
That's
very
interesting.
strange.
Okay, that's
So,
interesting.
I've been following that for years now.
Wow, years. Okay.
Mhm.
There's Brandon Swanson. He made this 911 call, and people don't know what he's saying, and he was never found again. And I've listened to it. Frank, how many times have I listened to that?
A lot. Yeah. No,
And I still can't figure out what he's saying.
The
It is-
call?
no.
You listen to the call?
You listen to they have the 911 call, and you hear stuff
He's
going on in the background. And everybody for years have been trying to like dissect this phone call, try to figure out what's being said. Is there
There's a second
someone
guy.
else, a
Yeah.
second guy in the background? You hear something, it's there's a
Thanks,
lot going
Erin.
on there.
Thanks, Erin.
No.
I'll be reading this later on in bed, and he's kind of cute. So
I just picture Erin listening to the tape over and over again, like George trying to figure out the soda problem at the restaurant. Like, how could I prove it? Damn it.
An interesting thing about the Brandon Swanson call is that if you listen to it, you don't hear a second person. But if you're told there's a second person, then you hear it. It's very
Yeah, then you
weird.
go,
It's
oh
like,
yeah, it sounds like it.
oh,
Yeah.
I do, but it's like I wouldn't have heard it if they hadn't said it. So you kind of wonder. It's kind of like the Matrix when he breaks that cup. It's like, would you have? Anyway, J-Sabs, I'm going to do you a solid. The next one, the next game that I made, I did it for a night that I thought that you weren't going to be on. So it's kind of tailored to the guys if you want to hop off. But if you want to play,
that's what she said. Let me listen to it, and then if I decide, I'll just leave.
And this one. So how is that different from any other time? Robin has a great question. Can we play the audio tape? Do you have? I guess we could play it.
Well, it's on YouTube.
it's on
where-
YouTube.
All right, maybe we'll play it one day. When
right,
we get
On
to
our missing persons episode.
a conspiracy theory show. Yeah, we'll do a missing persons episode. All right, now my favorite missing person, my favorite missing local person is J-Sab's husband, and he hasn't even gone missing yet. So
Yeah, I have not seen physical proof of his existence.
there's
in a while.
a lot. We got a lot of runway here for this case. So anyway, all right, go ahead, Aaron.
Okay, so this is dinner with a dead celebrity, and there's no political figures, and the caveat for this one is also you can't talk about what you talked about with them, and also you can't talk about the afterlife, just stuff about their life that you would want to ask them.
And I can't share what we talked about.
No, sorry.
All right.
Okay, we can't talk about the afterlife, and I can't. Oh, so we can't tell anybody else afterwards.
It's
I
just
don't know
for
if you
your
want to play
knowledge.
it that way. If you want to play it that way, you can play it that way, but not the afterlife part. I'm steadfast on that.
It's a good
Okay.
rule. It's a good rule.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
Dead celebrities we'd want to have dinner with. Top 5.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
excited.
What, you can talk about it?
I don't think we could talk. I think it's just for your own knowledge. It's just for you to talk to them.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I feel like then it'd be like money driven, like who would pay the most to hear about your dead dinner, and it gets weird.
Right. Right. I got you. So
All
this
right,
is just
I
for
like-
your own.
I'm
private.
going to put down again who I want to make number 1
All
ahead
right.
of time. It's on this sheet of paper right here.
So you're not only
Is it King
picking your
Tut?
number 1. King Tut.
To
All
keep
right,
with
go
your
ahead.
pyramids. Okay. Number 1 is Robin Williams.
Oh.
We're going to be getting a
think-
lot of that. They're all dead.
They're
We
all
all love
dead,
them.
and we all love them. Yeah.
Robin. I'd say
Damn it.
number 3. I'm gonna go with 3. You guys think too long.
No, this game is
Tough.
impossible. That is incredibly difficult.
Next.
I did number 2. I did number 2. I put him down as number 2.
Erin is doing this on purpose. She knows what she's doing with the order.
Yeah, of course. This is not a random order.
Oh my God. I got to put Robin Williams at number 3. There's just too much at stake.
I put him as number 2. Okay.
I
who's
need to
next?
apologize to the Williams family, I feel like, after this list, putting him at number 3.
You
All right.
dick.
All right.
Who's next? Yep.
2 is Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm putting Philip Seymour Hoffman at number 5.
I'm putting him at number 4.
Same 4.
Nobody likes Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I like Philip Seymour Hoffman, but I feel like there's going to be some
Guess who's haunting you tonight?
huge.
Don't put him at number 5. He's gonna haunt you.
I feel like there's going to be some legends coming up.
Wow, a lot of 5s. Nobody likes
Aw,
Philip Seymour
Poor
Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
PSH can go fuck himself, really.
He was a great actor.
I know, but we'd be doing the same thing. Be like, what was it like being on Along Came
Make
Polly?
it rain.
Yeah, that's it. That was his
That
best
was
movie.
great.
All right, Aaron.
All right. Number 3 is Heath Ledger.
Oh.
Oh.
At number 2.
These are all our lifetime people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heath
All right.
Ledger. Ooh, man.
I'm putting Heath Ledger at number 4 because, again, I'd like to talk to him about, but it's just all going to be about Batman.
That's fine.
I mean, I might be like, hey, did Mel Gibson use the N-word on the Patriot movie? But other than that, it's mostly going to be Batman questions.
That's pretty good. Those are good
Yeah.
questions.
I'm
I
sure
got him in
he-
at number 3.
All right, before we get to the last 2, my list right now is Robin Williams 3, Heath Ledger 4, Philip Seymour Hoffman 5.
Yikes.
I got Robin Williams 2, Heath Ledger 3, Philip Seymour Hoffman 4.
J Sabs?
Robin 3, PSH 4, Heath Ledger 2.
Huh, okay. They're all clumped together, though. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Number 4 is John Lennon.
Oh,
Ooh.
shit.
Oh, shit.
All right. Well, there goes my number 1 spot.
Yep.
She did this
I'd
on
say-
purpose.
I said number 1 for me too.
Gotta go John Lennon number 1.
Oh, my God. Can I put John Lennon at number 2?
Who's your number 1 right now?
No, I got 1 and 2 open.
And you're gonna put him at number 2, you heartless bastard.
I know, what piece of shit.
No.
Imagine all the people.
Aaron engineered this to torture me. I believe that.
Thrilling Anthony.
I believe that to be true because she's
If we
gonna
wanted
wallop
it
me
to
with
be
it.
called Easy Top 5, we could call it Easy Top 5, but we don't call it Easy Top 5.
I
All
am
right.
putting John Lennon at number 2
All right.
when he just the Beatles finally finished the fucking last Beatles song. This is blasphemy.
And the last one. Oh, J Sabs, where was John Lennon for you?
1.
1. Very good.
That makes me feel even worse. The girl
Yep.
with no musical taste puts him.
Wow,
knows enough
you
to
know
put him at
what?
1.
You know what? Yeah, you piece of shit.
And I've heard. I don't know. I think your musical taste fine, but that's what I'm reading on the internet. You know.
Right?
Okay.
All right. Last one.
Number 5 is Brandon Swanson. No, I'm kidding. Number 5 is
I was
Kurt
gonna say.
Cobain.
Kurt Cobain.
Oh.
Oh, you know what? I hate you a lot less now, Aaron. You've been saved.
Number 5 for me.
Yep,
Really?
me too.
You could ask him what happened.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know what happened.
Really?
He took drugs.
No, man.
No?
I am pleased as punch with this list.
I mean, I still get to ask him what happened. He's just fifth in line.
Okay.
The top 5 celebrities I'd like to have dinner with: Philip Seymour Hoffman, Heath Ledger, Robin Williams, John Lennon, Kurt Cobain, in that order.
I'm pretty happy with my list.
No, you're crazy. Kurt Cobain 5? Come on.
Yeah.
You'd rather talk to Philip Seymour Hoffman than the greatest songwriter in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy talk.
Yeah, that's my list. John Lennon 1, Robin Williams 2, Heath Ledger, Philip.
You know
Seymour
what?
Hoffman,
I'm going to
Kurt
say, we might end our friendship tonight. You'd never respected Nirvana because you were too busy like, oh, Metallica's good in the 90s.
Not that I never said I never respected Nirvana. I just wasn't as blown away.
Okay.
Yeah, they made a different kind of music, but I just wasn't blown away. It was all very depressing and sad, and I know it was different and it was new and it was great, but it was like I can only take so much. I just like it just got to me a lot that it wasn't as enjoyable as other music for me.
Because you were all like, oh, but Metallica's good. That's
I was like that.
Raven, I'd ask if Courtney really did it. Is that where you start with though? Like, I don't know where you feel like you gotta, that's at least 20, 30 minutes into the conversation.
Maybe put your order in with the waiter first.
Ask about Teen Spirit and Nevermind and shit like that. And then you go, so really, this is who I thought Aaron was going to put in there.
Lincoln.
Yes.
No, these are all our with the exception of John Lennon. This is our time,
It's our generation.
Our
Yeah.
generation.
Well, Robin too. Robin is feel like was 70s, 80s.
What are you talking about?
Robin Williams hit in the 70s.
Hit in the 70s.
Didn't he? When was Mork and Mindy? Was that the 80s?
They
Yeah,
all
but he may have started in the 70s, 80s, but
That's what I'm saying. Like that's when he got his
he
start.
was
So he's a
huge
little
in
bit,
the 90s.
yes.
except
Yes.
for John Lennon, who died when I was alive. I think
He died in 1980, August,
Yeah.
I think.
I was alive. You guys weren't, but everybody else died in your lifetime.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm happy with my list. John Lennon, yeah. Robin Williams, totally. Kurt Cobain, I'd ask him about, what happened. But then I'd be like, all right, you wrote some songs. They're great.
They're phenomenal. I tell you what, it would be a pain in the ass though, because he was a shy, kind of a douchebag.
I feel like the dinner would be a bit of a downer. He seemed very unhappy.
Yeah. We didn't really get to talk about how awful people are treating the Beatles song. It's just like,
I don't get it. I like it. I really like it.
it's so good. We were talking about this off the air, but people are just shitting on the new Beatles song that is like, I don't know, what was it, 80? Well, he died in 80, so you're talking about 40 years in the making, more 45 when I don't even remember when he wrote it exactly.
Yeah, and they just, were able to get the technology to clean up his vocals well enough, thanks to Peter Jackson, which is weird.
Yeah, really, really weird.
Yeah,
And-
Aaron, way to go, by the way. Thank you. Great job.
Excellent blind top 5 on
Yes.
this show. Yeah. These are 2 good ones.
Thank you so much. Maybe we'll do a Brandon Splitson. I would like to join for that one if anybody wants that.
Yeah,
let
that'd
them
be great.
know. Right.
If we did like a missing person thing.
I think that would be fun because I don't know who the hell you're talking about, but that sounds like if it's something that has got your ire this much, I'm curious about it.
Have a great
Yeah,
night,
it's-
everybody. Thanks for letting me be part of it.
Thanks, hon.
Thank you, Aaron.
So, the new Beatles song, I think it's great. I'm a fan. I've listened to it at least a dozen times.
Yeah, people are like, and I'm like, well, everybody has the right to their opinion, but it's kind of driving me crazy when you think about the journey we had to go to.
Yeah, and the lyrics and the now and then and the whole, it's like the perfect, in my opinion, the perfect wrap up. It's the perfect ending, last song of the Beatles.
I agree with you so much.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, it's
very
like
well written.
it's the way you want to go out. And people are like, oh, I don't like auto-tune. I'm just going through some of the comments that I remember from people that I like and enjoy on the
But
internet.
it's not auto-tuned.
Yeah, that's what they don't get. It's like, it's off a cassette tape. It's the
Right.
best that they could do with what they had.
Exactly. They didn't auto-tune him. They got his vocals, but they had to clean it because it sounded, it was right. You're off a cassette tape, so they had to.
And it was piano and vocals together in a room. It was a demo. It was
Right.
not meant to, ever see the light of day. It was just meant to, this is what we'll record the song out of.
Right.
And the last time they tried to do this, like they didn't even have the technology didn't even exist that was necessary. So they put 2 out of the 3 songs out, which everybody fell all over in 95.
Right.
And now I don't know what it is. Like we feel like, are we inundated with content now that we're just like, is that the new Beatles song? Meh.
Like the new Beatles song, the Beatles that haven't been a band in 40 years or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. But slight correction, it's Brandon Lawson if anybody's searching for it. The 911 call, that whole thing we're talking about, the missing person, is Brandon Lawson.
Brandon Lawson. All right.
All right. Brandon Swanson is a different missing person that does not have a 911 call. Brandon Lawson is a missing person, and there's a really fascinating and crazy just 911 call that everybody's been dissecting.
When she said Brandon Swanson, I don't know why I thought of Ron Swanson. Is that the guy from Parks and Rec?
Well, I could tell you why.
Why?
Swanson.
Oh, is that it's the same last name? I don't know.
I think so.
But anyway,
Brandon Lawson is the one with the. If anybody's looking it up, he's the one with the 911 call.
Solid correction, because somebody would be like the dick.
Yeah. Big fan of the Beatles song Now and Then. I think they did a great job with it. Even though the music video was great. They released the song, the audio, and then like 12 hours later they put out the music video.
So. Now listen, Paige makes our point. If you just take the song at face value, maybe it doesn't hit you as much. I feel like knowing the journey of where that song came from is kind of important,
If you find it on YouTube, just look. They have the description underneath.
We put it. It's on our site. You go to the blog. The video is in there. It shows everything.
I think it's a great.
Yeah.
And it has there's the behind the scenes thing. It's like a 12-minute thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a crazy journey with that song, and I agree. I think it's a great wrap up the Beatles, their final song. It's such a cool way to end it.
And I love that it comes from that vulnerable place for Lennon where he stopped the music just to raise his kid.
Right.
And it was still a part of him. So he was just sketching stuff out. So it's kind of like very intimate and like, we shouldn't really even be hearing this.
Yeah.
This incomplete idea of him just working out emotions and stuff, which I think is kind of really a fun way to have it, so I don't know.
Definitely worth listening to. And it's a good song. It's not just here's a song.
Yeah.
I think it's really good.
But Frank and I had this moment where we were talking. We were like, are we crazy? Or is everybody just being really shitty to this song?
I don't understand it. I mean, all right, you don't like the whatever, but like it's still, you have to, I don't know. It's our opinion, I guess. Everybody has their opinion.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it. But.
No, you don't. But I respect everybody who doesn't. But I still kind of feel like we're inundated, because if we weren't, like, again, if we were in the time of CDs, people would have been rushing the stores to be like, we got to get the last Beatles song. This is crazy. I can't believe this is happening. Because that's what we did in 95 when they released the anthology and they had 2 Lennon unreleased tracks on there, So, which, by the way, Real Love and the other one just went out of my head, since 95 have grown on us exponentially. Like, those 2 songs now are like in movie soundtracks constantly, So it just goes to show you how these songs are, again, timeless.
Agreed.
As good as Now and Then is, it pales in comparison to the AOA theme written by Frankie.
Thank you very much.
Wrap it all.
Appreciate it.
Thanks to Aaron, J Sabs.
Great job.
C. You guys, appreciate you all, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Show me potato salad.
Maybe we should go now.